All right, so I'll go ahead and jump in, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
so first, I just want to kind of give a little bit of my story so you guys know who I am. Um, I My name is Roger Webb. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, in the U.S., and I'm trying to think. It's been 6.5 years since I started building DoTerra. I have quite a unique story. I enrolled as a customer. Literally just to shut my friend up. I wanted nothing to do with doTERRA. And I enrolled because I thought if I did, she would leave me alone. And I blocked her emails. I put the oils in my drawer. I never used them. I wanted nothing to do with it. And about a year later, I got really sick, and doTERRA was my answer, and it literally saved my life. And so I called her up and I said I wanted to build this business, and it took me about 20 months to hit diamond, and it's just been an amazing experience ever since. Um, so you never, ever, ever give up on those people who tell you to go away, because they could become your biggest builder one day. So outside of doTERRA, my background, my history is I've done quite a bit. I was a sales and management trainer and consultant for many years. I also had my own private practice as an alternative behavioral therapist as well as a life coach. And I did a lot of sales and management training as well as a lot of personal development work. And one of my biggest focuses, I'm a master NLP practitioner as well as a Reiki master and a clinical hypnotherapist on top of all that. And so a lot of the work that I did focused on the subconscious behavior, on helping people identify and reprogram that behavior. And people ask about, how do we know what a subconscious behavior is? And the easiest way for me to describe it is to say those things in our life that we do that we say, I don't know why I do it. I wish I didn't do it, or I don't like that I do it, but I don't understand why I do it, but I do it. That's subconscious work. And so what my practice was focused on is helping people identify those things that hold them back and then reprogram them so they can move forward. And that's a lot of the work that I bring now in my personal development workshops. I'm a single dad. I've got 5 incredible kids. I've been raising them on my own for almost 10 years. I was able to build a diamond the way that I did as a single parent. So I definitely know all of those challenges as well. I have a team of about 3,000 people right now, all over the world, mostly in the United States, but I've got a couple in other pockets. And it's been an amazing adventure for me. So I really want to talk about a couple of things first of all. So first of all, I want to say I am beyond excited that I'm coming down to Australia, not just because I'm coming to Australia, but because I've gained some really great relationships down there. And this workshop that I'm bringing is a workshop that I've had a lot of the U.S. diamonds have flown me to the areas around the United States to help teach their teams, in Canada also. And we've had some pretty exciting results. And back when I had my practice, my goal in life and one of my biggest dreams, my mission, if you will, is to just really help people shift their consciousness towards a bigger life of success and abundance and wealth and happiness and all of that. And when I had my practice, it was my greatest dream one day that I would be able to just do this in a way that could just help people and not necessarily rely on it to be my income. So I'm deeply grateful that doTERRA has allowed me to get to a place where my income is covered, my income is taken care of, and now I can go just do this to help people. So it's made me really, really happy to be able to do that. I'm going to, just so everybody knows here, I'm going to mute you real quick. And mute everybody just so we don't have any background noise. If you have questions, please feel free to unmute and ask away. So I've been really grateful. And so a couple of years ago, I started this program called BBT. It was a belief breakthrough program. And I did an online belief breakthrough boot camp, if you will. It was 6 weeks to help people identify and strategize in ways to move through their limiting beliefs. I did that really initially I just did it for my own team. And then it started to grow and it grew into something that I never, ever expected it to grow into. But as a result, I've had over 5,000 people go through this work. And the messages that I get from people have been absolutely amazing for me. That have really helped fulfill why I do this work. And that is one belief that I have, is that everybody has limiting beliefs. We all have things that stop us. We all have those voices that come in our head that tell us that we're not good enough, not smart enough, not whatever enough. And those beliefs come from a place in our life. And so my work is really based around helping people overcome those. And that's what started this all. And then it just kind of evolved into this really amazing program that I've been so excited to share. So let's talk about limiting beliefs for just a minute, because that's something I really want to make sure that this call is not just about a commercial for my work, but really an opportunity to show people, to give you some tools that you can take right now and work on them. So I had somebody once tell me in a workshop, I don't have any limiting beliefs. I'm like, okay, so let's look at this. So some people do think back. If you have something in your life that you're really trying, let's say you have a new idea or a new goal, or in doTERRA, let's just use an example. You say, hey, I want to be a diamond. And so as soon as you say that, what are the thoughts that come into your head? What are the voices? Are those voices like, yeah, let's do this? Or is there a little voice in there somewhere that says, yeah, but that might be a little challenging for you because of X, Y, or Z? Or, yeah, but, that's just, my belief was diamond is just for those people. It's just for that very special set of people that have that very special set of skills. And I didn't have that. And that was my belief. And so that was one of the biggest limiting beliefs that ran me for a long time. So not just in doTERRA, though, anywhere in our life, when we have that really big, excited idea to do something, usually it's followed shortly behind by all of what I call the yabbits. The yabbits are the thoughts that we have in our own heads that say, yeah, but this is why I can't, or yeah, but that's why I can't, or yeah, but I'm like this, and so I don't know if it would work for me. Those are the yabbits, and the yabbits are limiting beliefs. They are the things that stop us and hold us back. And so I used to have this really long process around how to overcome your limiting beliefs. And I've been super excited over the last year or so. I found some new techniques that have allowed us to really shorten that. So one of the things that's really important, first of all, though, is to understand where our limiting beliefs come from. So in our lives, so the subconscious is what I focus on. It's what I teach about. And NLP, if you're not familiar with it, is really truly just the art of understanding and working with the subconscious and understanding how the subconscious stores data and information. So our eyes capture so much information, and we take in, literally, if you talk in computer language, we take in tens of thousands of bits of information every minute, but we're only conscious of this much of it. And all that other information goes in there somewhere. We talk about how the human brain is only conscious of a very small percentage of what we have available in our brain. Well, the rest of that holds all of this data. And we don't realize that it's in there. And so what happens, let's just use a good example so you can understand how the subconscious works. So let's say that you have a couple, you're married, you've been married, let's say you got married in your 30s, and maybe when one of the partners was, maybe let's say the wife was 16, a boy said something to her that hurt her feelings really bad and just kind of left her devastated. And when the boy was in his 20s, some girl said something to him that really just broke his heart and left him devastated. So here we are 20 years later, now you're in a happily married couple relationship. And one of you says something that triggers something in your subconscious that reminds your subconscious of that memory of that painful experience. And all of a sudden you get all puffy and up in arms, and this big fight happens, and then you say something that triggers their stuff, and all this stuff's happening, and nobody understands why you're even fighting, but it's because there was something stored in our subconscious that triggered us. So one of the important things we need to do in this work is learning how to reprogram that stuff, because the way I describe it is the subconscious is like this big bookshelf. You can see a little small bookshelf I have here behind me. So the subconscious files things away in the bookshelf based on categories or themes or phases of life or whatever. But sometimes things get miscategorized, and when they do, that's when we get triggered. Have you ever had one of those experiences where somebody says something and it just rubs you the wrong way and it just causes you to get really irritable and frustrated? Well, that's a pretty good example of you being triggered at a subconscious level, and it's something that you don't even know about. You're not even conscious of it. So those same kind of things happen. So let's just say I had a client once who was told by one of his teachers in elementary school that I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something to the effect of, she was helping him with a problem, a math problem, and she said, oh, this problem might be a challenge for you. Well, this little boy that heard, you're not good enough to do this problem, which interpreted in his brain as you're stupid. So he grew up his whole life with this belief that he was stupid, and he never really tried to excel at things because he just would write it right off. Well, I'm too stupid to do that anyway. Doing some subconscious work with him helped him see that he wasn't stupid at all. It was just a misunderstanding by that poor little boy. And then we reprogrammed that thought. So now when he has new ideas, he doesn't have that I'm stupid program anymore, but that I'm capable, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, whatever it is. So we're able to reprogram those thoughts so that we can move into a bigger, better, greater place. So a big portion of the work that I do is based around those limiting beliefs, and a really amazing, simple technique that I've come up with that I literally just stumbled upon in some work I was doing that can help you to reprogram those limiting beliefs quite easily and quite quickly. You know, I had an argument with somebody once that it's impossible to reprogram some of these beliefs, and I said, absolutely not. I do it all the time. And we have this belief that, oh, this is really hard work. This is going to take a really long time to overcome this. When the truth is, it really isn't. The truth is, it's going to take as long as you want it to take. And if you want it to be really quick and easy, then it can be really quick and easy. I'm going to teach you the techniques to help you do that. So another thing I want to talk about that I do in my training that is pretty important. And I'm going to go back and give you a tip in just a minute, a tool on how you can overcome those limiting beliefs. But I want to also talk about a few other things I'm going to be working with. So the name of the workshop that I'm bringing to Australia is called Live All Out. It's a workshop that's been developed for, it's taken about 25 years of culminating different information. And it's finally come to this place where I'm so excited and so happy. And I've taught about a dozen of them with massive results. And I'm super excited about it. And the idea of it, of living all out, I want to talk about that because a lot of people don't really understand what that means. So I want you to think about your life. What about your life do you want to be bigger, better, greater, in a different place than it is now? Do you want more abundance? Do you want more relationships? Do you want more happiness? Do you want more money? Do you want more success in your business? You see, here's the thing, guys. This workshop is not about your doTERRA business. It's about your life and how all of these areas of your life can then roll over into your doTERRA business and cause it to blow up in a way you've never seen it. So I had one of my very first workshops that I did. I was so excited. I was in Canada, and this woman called me about 3 months after the workshop, and she had been stuck at Premier for a long time, a really long time, and she had never been able to break that Premier ceiling. And within 3 months after my workshop, using the tools that I taught, she hit gold. And now I believe she's nearing diamond, and this was about a year and a half ago. And so this is a perfect example. She had all of these things in her life that she felt were keeping her back from living a life all out. And I taught her the tools that can help her get there. So one of the tools that I've really been excited about is the whole philosophy of living all out. And I don't know if you guys have seen it advertised, but I'm actually doing a webinar on December 22nd, I believe. And Helen, I'll get you the information on it so you can share, where I'm introducing this all-out concept that I think would be really, really good to preface my trip to Australia. And that is the idea that, you know, for so many, back when I was a sales and management trainer, the mentality in the sales world especially was you just go and go and go and go and just push hard, and you quit watching your TV and you turn your TV off. In fact, throw your TV away and work from morning until night and work really hard. And a lot of the big sales gurus teach this mentality of just work, 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 work until you reach your goal. Well, that didn't work for me. And for me, when I tried that, it caused me to get burnt out and resentful and frustrated and angry, and it just caused a lot of problems for me. And what I've instead learned is a new mentality called Live All Out, where I can take little bursts of energy and little bursts of action, and little bursts of activity in my business on a consistent basis And my success has not only risen higher, but I've maintained it longer than I did when I was just trying this. Let me just give it everything I got. Like, think about this, guys. Like, if you're running a race and you run at full speed the whole race, the chances of you, unless you're a super fit, perfect, primed athlete, the chances of you making to the finish line at all is pretty slim. But if you learn to pace yourself and push when it's appropriate and hold back when it's appropriate and push a little harder when it's appropriate, then the success is going to be right behind that. And that's the mentality that I've learned. So I've learned to go into a way that has really helped benefit me. Because see, here's the thing about this whole workshop. It's created based on my own failures. You see, I'm nearing 50 years old. I've got about 30 years in the sales world and about half of that in the network marketing world, where I've learned how not to do it. And what I've learned is that I've failed over and over and over and over again. And what I'm excited about is to be able to learn how to take my failures and teach you the lessons that I've learned from them. Because once I learn those lessons, I have success very quickly. So why not teach everybody else those lessons so that they can bypass the failure and get to the success? And that's what Living All Out is all about. I have another tool that I teach that I'm very excited about. I actually teach it in the doTERRA training that we do the night before the workshop. So back in the day when I was, oh my gosh, I was in my mid-20s, I was a sales and management trainer. And I was brought into a telemarketing company to train this one particular department of this company that was really struggling. And when I took this department over to train them, they were making about $250,000 a month in revenue. And that wasn't very good for this particular company. So I started teaching them something about human behavior. I didn't teach them about how to sell. I taught them about how to understand people in this very specific workshop that I do. And within 6 months, their revenue went from $250,000 to $2.5 million a month. And the only thing I taught them was this little piece on human behavior, on how to understand how to talk to people differently so they'll buy your product, or how to talk to people differently so they'll listen to you better, how to talk to people differently so that you can work with your team better. And I've brought that into doTERRA, and it's been night and day with my team on how we've learned to identify what people are in our classes and how to teach them very specifically and increase our sales close rate. How to work with the different builders on your team so that you can create more unification in your team. So there's a lot of really great tool sets that I have that I want to bring to you. So the whole nutshell of my workshop that I'm bringing to Australia is about helping you take all the things that I've learned through the hard lessons in my life so that you can have those skills right from the beginning and learn how to control your subconscious in a better way that's going to cause you to have better success, a way that's going to cause you to learn how to pace your efforts in a way that is going to push you into success faster, a way to understand how the subconscious can be your ally in your work. Because here's the deal, the subconscious is this massive machine behind us that has the powers of the universe behind it. It really, truly does. And when you learn those tools, you can really push forward into a bigger, better, greater place. And so that's kind of what this is all about. So I promised you a tool and I want to give it to you. So we all hear about positive affirmations, right? So I'm going to teach you a very basic tool that you can use one affirmation to overcome your biggest limiting belief. Because see, here's the deal. The subconscious listens to the things that it hears the most frequently, that has the most emotion attached to it. So through your life, your subconscious was fed messages, either by yourself or by other people, that feed your self-esteem, that feed your knowledge about yourself, the way you love yourself, the way you view yourself, the way you look at yourself. And here's, you want to hear, if you have a limiting belief, look at yourself naked in the mirror. It sounds silly. The first word, oh, you need to do this, or oh, like the self-critical piece that we have, that's our limiting beliefs talking. So if you want to identify, so first of all, I'm going to challenge you to make a list of all the things that you believe about yourself that stop you, and be really honest about it so that you can overcome it. Because here's the deal, if you can't be honest about it, you can't overcome it. So make that list and then identify which of those limiting beliefs are the ones that control you the most. For me, back when I started this work years ago, it was that I'm not lovable and that success is for other people, not for me. Those are my two biggest ones. So I've learned how to overcome them to where now I know that I'm lovable and I attract amazing relationships into my life of people that truly love me. And I've found a way to push through that success thing so much that it's just taking me to a bigger, better, greater place every single day. So determine which of those limiting beliefs are the ones that hold you back the most. And if it's, let's just say I'm not good enough, then all you need to do is create a affirmation that's just the opposite of that. And I wouldn't say just I'm good enough, because that doesn't have enough juice behind it. I would say like I'm a freaking rock star. Something like that. Something where there's some excitement and some juice. And then I'm going to visualize every single day. I'm going to visualize myself having the success that I want. And I'm going to see myself loving it and celebrating it and welcoming it, because I have to put that picture in my head. And when I see that picture, I'm going to get attached to it emotionally as much as I can, because emotion is what overrides those limiting beliefs. So I'm going to attach myself emotionally to the vision I have of my success. And then I'm going to repeat. Hey guys, I don't know what happened. I just went away and now I'm back. Can you guys all hear me back? Not if you can hear me. All right, there you go. Wow, that was really weird. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my whole computer went blank and that popped back up. So, and I'm still recording, so that's good. I might have to fuse these recordings. So if you can get yourself to where you can really attach some emotion to this new belief that you want, that's when you really start to reprogram your subconscious, because our subconscious are just like a computer. They're programmed to fire in a certain way, whether we want them to or not, based on the things that we've been programmed our whole lives, based on what people have told us. So we have to be able to override those. So just practice with that one tool. So I'll give you a good example. I'm going to teach a lot of really cool, powerful visualization techniques for the subconscious. But just give you an example. One tool that I teach is this really amazing visualization tool that I use to get myself to diamond. So my very first convention I ever went to, I went to the gala, and I was so excited about watching people walk down the carpet as diamonds. And now that I knew what that looked like, I laid down at night every single night for almost 2 years, and I visualized myself. I heard my song, I knew what I was wearing, I saw myself walk down that carpet, and I got so emotionally attached to it that my subconscious now believed that that's what was happening for me. And what's really crazy is 2 years later, when that actually did happen to me, when I was walking down the carpet at gala, here's the crazy piece, and people don't understand this, and it sounds a little woo-woo because it is a little woo-woo. In my visualization, every single night for 2 years, I visualized Emily Wright reacting a very, very specific way when I came down the stage. And I visualized her wearing a gold dress. When I walked down the carpet, the day that I walked in gala, I stepped down the stairs and Emily Wright was standing in front of me in a gold dress, and she was making the exact same reaction that I had seen in my visualization for 2 years. When we get the power of the subconscious behind us, folks, it is unstoppable what we can do. And my biggest love in life is teaching you how to take that power that the subconscious has and harness it for yourself. And the only other thing I'm going to say about this work, if you haven't seen it, the name of my business is Get Uncomfortable Incorporated. That's the name that my doTERRA business is under and everything. Because that's what I believe makes us successful in life, is learning how to get out of your comfort zone. So if you knew me 7, 8 years ago, I was this guy that was kind of quiet on the sidelines all the time. I didn't put myself out there much. I was kind of a wallflower. I was very timid. I didn't have a lot of belief in myself, and fear ran everything that I do. And I've used the tools that I'm going to teach you in this workshop, And I live in a world today where very few things scare me anymore. And that's shocking and scary for me to say, because I just simply have learned how to live outside of my comfort zone. I've learned that if you want success in your life, you have to get out of your comfort zone. And that's way easier said than done. And I know that. There's people that are terrified of getting out of their comfort zone. I was one for a very long time. But what I'm going to teach you is how to take baby steps out of your comfort zone. And then all of a sudden, in a couple of years, you're going to call me and you're going to say, oh my gosh, Roger, I live outside my comfort zone now. And let me tell you about all the amazing things that happened in my life. That's what I'm bringing to Australia, guys. Like, I hope you can hear in my voice. I hope you can hear in my passion that I love this stuff so much. I'm just reading Helen's comment. That's awesome. I love that you did that too. Visualization is where it's at. This work is something, I'm going to be very clear. This is not my work. I believe that this is work that's way bigger than me. And I've been very blessed enough to be somebody who can understand it well enough to take it to other people. I have a belief that if enough people on this planet shifted their consciousness to one of success and discomfort and all of the stuff that I teach, excuse me, that we would live in a world where magic was happening every day. And I have had the amazing pleasure over the last couple of years. Sorry about that, I have something in my eye. I've had an incredible opportunity over the last few years to work with over 5,000 different wellness advocates in doTERRA, not just on my team, all over the world in different teams. And as I've seen them take on these tools that I teach and seen their lives grow, I have a belief that when we all reach that place together, that we are all going to contribute our own stuff to the world, which is going to make our world an amazing place. And that's why I do this work. A really big piece of the work that we do right out of the gate on Saturday morning, this workshop, excuse me, is helping you learn what your mission and purpose is on this earth. Not from like a religious point of view, and it could be, but like, why are you here? Why do you breathe? To me, we talk about our why in doTERRA in a really, to me, not an effective way. I don't want to know why you're building this business. I want to know why you breathe air on this planet. And if I can help you get to that place, then your business will explode, because you will have an energy and a fuel and a fire and a spark underneath it that you've never experienced before. And if I can help shift enough people to that level of consciousness, then imagine the good that's going to happen on this planet. And that's why I do this work. This work is my mission. And part of my mission is teaching you how to live your mission. So that's what I get excited about. And that's why I'm coming to Australia. I had somebody the other day say, why are you taking, I'm a single dad, guys. I've got 3 kids living at home still, and I'm taking 1 month out of my life to come to Australia because I want to spread this message in a way that is going to rock this planet. And I'm very excited about it. So my only request from you is that you get people to these workshops, because this is not just about doTERRA. This is for your kids. I like anybody who's above the age of 16 to come. So if you've got teenagers, oh my gosh, bring them to this workshop. Their life will never be the same. If you've got neighbors who like personal development, if you've got people who are trying bigger, better, greater things in their life, get them to this workshop. But help me spread the word, guys, because I have a vision and a goal of selling out every venue in Australia and helping these people really understand. And I'm working on putting together some things I'm going to be announcing the next year too, that hopefully will really make it even more possible for more people to come. But I'm really, really, really excited about coming. So you can find all of the details about my workshop at comfortzonesuck.com, and that's 2 S's. So comfortzones with an S, suck.com, comfortzonesuck.com/down-under-tour. So that's where all of the registration information is. Right now, until Christmas Eve, I'm doing a 2-for-1 sale that if you register 2 people at once, you only pay for 1 person. I'm working on putting together something even better than that. I hope you guys hear in my heart, I'm not coming down there to make a bunch of money. I'm coming down there to rock some lives. And so I'm trying to make this happen in a way that's going to benefit everybody involved. And so some new things are going to be coming there as well. But my only request of you guys is that you show up. And when you walk in that door on Saturday with me, like show up in a place where you say, you know what, I'm ready to change my life. Because this work, I can promise you I have a money back guarantee on this workshop. If you do it and you're like, hey, Roger, you know what, it did nothing for me, shoot me an email and you get your money back. Like that, I believe in that enough. Like this work will change your life if you show up and do the work on that day. And a lot of people say, how can 8 hours change my life? Guess what, folks? I can promise you it can. So, hang on, look at your thing here. Ah, thank you. Yes, Helen. So when I first started talking to the folks in Australia about coming down, you know, I had a couple of requests. Well, Roger, you have some really great doTERRA tools as well. If this workshop's not about doTERRA, is there any way to help us? So what I decided is in every city. So I'm going to be in Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, and Gold Coast. So if you know any those cities, please send them to my website. But what I'm going to do is I am now going to do a workshop on each, and in each city, I'm going to do a 4-hour doTERRA training the night before, and then the full 8-hour personal development training the next day. And it's just an additional little thing you can buy a separate ticket for when you register your ticket. So come play with me on Friday night. We're gonna have a lot of fun learning about how to do doTERRA in a little bit of a different way. And here's what I want to say about that. It's not about changing what your upline's teaching you. It's about incorporating a few new different ways of looking at things. You know, one of the things I specialize in is helping people learn how to sell larger kits. I've only sold 9 family essentials kits in my entire 7 years of doTERRA. I've sold almost exclusively natural solutions kits and higher. And so one of the things I'm going to teach you is how to sell bigger kits, because if you sell bigger kits, you're going to rank events a lot faster and your people are going to be much more solid in our products. I've kind of got this weird thing that's happened that I don't know how it's happened. I've become the guy to teach people about how to get more people on LRP. When I get people on LRP, which is a majority of my customers now, they're on LRP of around 150 to 250 points, not just 100 points. Most of my LRP are right around 200 points. I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm going to teach you this whole behavior thing I talked about how you can walk into a class and identify the main behavior styles of the people in your room and sell in a way that will cause them to all enroll. My enrollment rate is almost 95%, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. And if you take those things that I'm going to teach you on Friday night and incorporate them with the things that your upline is already teaching you to build your business, I can promise you your business is going to grow. And then if you come on Saturday and learn all the personal development stuff I'm going to teach you, you're going to be unstoppable. And next year when I come back to Australia, you're going to just be a whole bunch of diamonds in the room. And I'm very excited about that. So here's my plan. My plan is to come this year and give you some basics. And I want to start coming back every single year and just take you guys higher and higher and higher. That's what I've been doing in Canada for the last 3 years, and it's been absolutely incredible. I've got a couple cities in the United States I'm doing it with too. I'm very excited. So with that, I don't want to take any more of your time, but is there any questions? If you have any questions for me, feel free to unmute yourself or use the chat box. And other than that, I will take off in a second. Let you guys have your morning. Anyone got anything for me? Here, I'll just unmute everybody real quick. All right, Helen, any questions for me? Any thoughts you need for me to finish up?
None that I can really think of. Just thanks for sharing all that information. That's great. And yeah, we're really looking forward to it, and we'll definitely get this video out, because I know a lot of other people would have jumped on if I'd have been a little more organized.
Sure. So that's all good. So what I'll do, Helen, is I probably have 2 videos to fuse together now since it cut us out, and I will get it to you within the next hour or so. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right, awesome. And the rest of you, come see me. I can't wait to meet you guys. I can't wait to be there, and I'm bringing my shorts and tank tops, and I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. It's my winter, and I can't wait to get out of it. So I look forward to it. So I will see you guys all in about a month and a half.
Awesome. Thanks, Roger.
Bye-bye, everybody.